In 1992, a college student named Sarah bought an IBM ThinkPad 700C. She recently reached out to us to share that. 32 years later, that machine still boots up. It has survived 3 decades of travel, thousands of hours of typing, and multiple versions of Windows with only a single battery replacement. Now, compare that to the experience of a modern professional. You walk into a high-end electronics store today, and you spend $2,500 on a flagship Ultrabook with a 4000 oldie screen and a CNC machined aluminum chassis. It looks like a piece of jewelry, a marvel of modern industrial design, but statistically, that machine will be functionally dead or obsolete in less than 36 months. And when it begins to fail, the technician at the Genius Bar or the Authorized Repair Center will not fix it. He will look you in the eye and tell you that the motherboard is a single unit and it's cheaper to just buy a new one. Why have we moved from an era of 30-year tanks to an era of 2-year disposable toys? In this investigation, we are going to expose the engineering crimes hiding underneath those sleek backlit keyboards. We are going to look at the soldered memory scam, the thermal throttling disaster, and the glued-in battery conspiracy that has turned your primary productivity tool into expensive e-waste. The first villain on our list is the motherboard, specifically the trend of soldering components that used to be modular. For decades, laptops were designed with standardized slots. If you wanted more memory, you popped a door on the bottom and clicked in a new stick of RAM. If your storage drive failed, you unscrewed one bolt and replaced it. It was a system built on longevity. But in the mid-2010s, companies like Apple, Dell, and Microsoft decided to optimize the internal layout. To make laptops 2 millimeters thinner, they began soldering the RAM and the SSD directly onto the main circuit board. They claimed this was for speed and energy efficiency, but there was a fatal engineering flaw hidden in this design. When you solder a flash memory chip directly to the motherboard, you are creating a single point of failure. Every SSD has a limited lifespan. It can only be written to a certain number of times before the cells wear out. In an old laptop, a dead drive was a $50 fix. In a modern laptop, a dead SSD chip means the entire motherboard is bricked. This is not a theory. This is the reality of thousands of users who lose their data and their entire investment because a single $5 component reached its end of life. You cannot just replace the drive because the heart of the machine is fused to the brain. The laptop is totaled dot, but even if your chips survive, there is another engineering crime happening inside your modern chassis, the thermal management system. If you own a high-end, thin and light workstation, you likely know this pain personally. In the old days, laptops had a bit of heft to them. This thickness allowed for copper heat pipes and fans with enough surface area to actually move air. But modern consumers were told they needed razor-thin profiles. So engineers moved the components closer together and shrunk the cooling systems. This is a violation of the laws of thermodynamics. They are trying to cram a 45-watt processor into a chassis that can only dissipate 15 watts of heat. They have to use thermal throttling, which is a fancy way of saying the computer intentionally slows itself down to a crawl, just so it doesn't melt through the plastic casing. The result is inevitable. The constant cycle of heating up to 100 degrees Celsius and cooling back down causes the solder joints to expand and contract. Over time, these microscopic connections crack. They engineered a system that fights physics just to give you a slightly thinner profile in your backpack. Asterisk. The second reason your laptops are dying is the invasion of the internalized battery. Your father's laptop had a battery that clipped onto the back. It was a user-serviceable part. When the lithium cells naturally degraded after 2 years, which they always do, you spent $60, swapped it in 5 seconds, and your laptop was like new again. Your modern laptop has a sealed design. The battery is no longer a part. It is a structural element. In many modern designs, manufacturers use industrial-grade adhesive to glue the battery directly to the keyboard assembly or the palm rest. They are putting a chemical fire hazard, which is guaranteed to expand and lose capacity, inside a machine that is not designed to be opened. When the battery begins to swell, a common phenomenon called pillowing, it doesn't just stop holding a charge. It physically bends the motherboard, cracks the trackpad from the inside out, and destroys the chassis. We have spoken to dozens of independent repair technicians who say the same thing. Replacing a glued-in battery in a modern Ultrabook is a high-risk surgery that requires heat guns, chemical solvents, and a high probability of puncturing the cell. The manufacturer doesn't want you to do this. They want the battery's death to be the laptop's death. The same logic applies to the modern laptop hinge. If you bought a laptop in 2005, the hinges were often bolted into a metal subframe. They were stiff, durable, and lasted for a decade of opening and closing. Today, to save on weight and manufacturing costs, many brands use a process where the metal hinge is screwed into tiny plastic bosses or anchors that are glued to the plastic display lid. This is a mechanical nightmare. Every time you open your laptop, you are applying leverage to a tiny piece of plastic. Eventually, the plastic fatigues and snaps. Suddenly, your screen is flopping around and the internal video cable is being shredded by the broken metal. Because the plastic anchors are molded into the lid, you cannot just fix the hinge. You have to replace the entire display assembly, which often costs 50% of the price of a laptop. The repairman looks at you and says the phrase that defines the modern tech economy: "It is not worth fixing." This is not an accident. This is a design choice. They intentionally move the failure point to a location that makes a repair economically impossible, forcing you back into the upgrade cycle. But perhaps the most insulting engineering crime is the digital death caused by proprietary software locks. In the old days, a computer was a tool that you owned. Today, it is a service you are leasing. Manufacturers are now using part pairing. Even if you have two identical laptops, you cannot always swap the screen from one to the other. The software will detect a new serial number on the component and disable features like True Tone, Face ID, or even the keyboard backlight. They are using software to murder the secondary repair market. They want to ensure that the only person who can fix your machine is the person who sold it to you at a price they dictate. So, what is the solution? If you have been following the hardware world, you might have heard of the Framework laptop. It is a machine designed to be taken apart with a single screwdriver, where every part has a QR code leading to a replacement web store. But not everyone wants to build their own computer. The alternative is to reject the consumer-grade trap entirely. When you shop for a laptop, stop looking at the shiny models on the front table of the big box stores. Look for business class machines, the ThinkPad T series, the Dell Latitude 5000 or 7000 series, or the HP EliteBooks. These are built for corporate fleets where downtime costs money. They often still have 2 slots for RAM, replaceable batteries, and magnesium alloy frames that can actually survive a drop. They aren't as sexy as the razor-thin Ultrabooks, but they are built to last 7 years instead of 700 days, or do what the smart money is doing. Keep your old hardware running as long as possible. If you have a laptop from 2015 with a solid chassis, don't throw it away because it feels slow. Spend $40 on a new SSD and $30 on a fresh battery. Those machines were built with a different philosophy, one that respected the user's investment. Do not be seduced by the 4K touchscreens and the ultra-thin bezels. They are just lipstick on a pig. They are trying to sell you a smartphone with a keyboard attached, a device meant to be traded in every 2 years. Just like a smartphone, they expect you to treat it as a disposable commodity. Stop buying their junk. If you want to know which, other industries have been ruined by this same philosophy of planned obsolescence. Watch this video next.